Rolando Rolly Romero, he will get a title fight in his first situation at the 140-pound, division, ladies and gentlemen. This dude right here is going to be fighting for the WBA 140-pound title, against Alberto Pulio, with an April date. The venue, everything is going to be to be determined, but it's looking like April. This is major, for Rolly. I believe that this is a must-win situation for Rolando Rolly Romero. I believe his career is hanging in the balance here. He cannot afford to lose, to this guy. Like I said, this guy's going to be a tough opponent. We're going to get all into him in a second, but to be honest with you, this is going to be a major bout, in my humble opinion. I think it's going to be a must-see bout because of Rolly Romero. Believe it or not, as much as people may want to, joke on him and this, that, and the third, Rolly Romero is definitely becoming a household name for himself. He's starting to really get his name up there and his notoriety. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people came flocking, to watch one of his bouts. This man that he's fighting ain't no joke himself either. The Southpaw, I don't know what's going on with him and Southpaws, but this dude, Alberto Pulio, 21-0. From the Dominican Republic. He is the champion, the WBA World Super Light. So this would be crazy. I think Rolly Romero, and this is what I was stating before, the kind of bout that Rolando Rolly Romero will need in order to get his career back on the right track. He's going to need a big bout, a big win, and this is looking like it just came right on the pedestal for him, with this opponent. This is the kind of bout that you silence him, you knock him out, you beat him. You slow everything down, all of the chatter, all of the talking, all of the everything about the what's happening sparring, what happened in the last fight. I think from here on out, you start to talk a little bit more positive. You silence people just momentarily, maybe not forever, but momentarily. We've seen guys bounce back from losses before, so let's see if this guy could do the same thing. And it's going to be interesting to see if he can get it done. And that's just me and my humble opinion. Y'all let me know your thoughts. Or do you think it's over for Rolando Rolly Romero? How pivotal is this bout for him? I think this bout is everything, for him. The defeat that he suffered against Gervonta Davis, you got to bring that pain back to another opponent, and this is the perfect opponent for him, like I stated before. The Southpaw, Alberto, he last fought, back in August, August 20th, this year up in Hollywood, where he won. It was crazy what he did to this guy. He had who he beat some. It's hard for me to pronounce this man's name, but he's, like I said, he's coming off major wins. He only fought one time last year, so it's gonna be interesting to see will that have any ramifications, on this bout. Both guys are going to bring some power. I know Rolly will, he's going to bring the power. He fought, again, he tried to fight for the WBA World Light against Gervonta, so this is going to be his second consecutive, fighting for a title, so let's see if he can come up victorious, which I think is going to be tough it's going to be a tough encounter for him, in my humble opinion. Romero, obviously 14-1-12, violent wins by the way of knockout. Committed to moving up 5 pounds in the weight following the 6-round TKO, by Gervonta live at the Barclays. It's crazy. He's definitely fought the whole time, at lightweight, at the near or lightweight limit, 135 pounds throughout his through his 6-year professional career. This is everything that Rolly has been doing. So it's going to be unbelievable to see him move on, to 140, and see the damage that could be done there. You got a lot of people there. Teofimo, we all know, Devin Haney's headed to 140, the 140 division. As crowded as you think the 135 is right now, the 140 could be just as crowded in a year or so, if not already. Y'all let me know how that situation could be. This guy Pulo, he's gonna be making his first title defense, of the WBA belt that he won almost 6 months ago, in Hollywood, like we stated before. He edged out his last opponent in 12-round split decision win. So let's see what happens in this one. Will he edge him out? This guy, so something tells me that the fight won't go the distance, just due to, just the fighters that we talking about. Rolly Romero is unorthodox, as crazy, as jokey. This dude got power, and like I said, Tank said he was dangerous. I believe that this guy could knock this guy out if he catch him with the right shot. And the same could be said. This guy got to make sure he don't get knocked out. If Rolly Romero finds himself on the canvas to Mr. Alberto, and he loses viciously, I think this is going to do a number to his, it's going to be almost a point of no return. How does he recover? I think this is the recovery fight right here, and it's do or die. You got to get it done. Through hell or high water, Rolly Romero better not lose this fight. Point blank, period, Y'all let me know your thoughts on the guy, Alberto, who he's going to be fighting. I'm not 100% familiar with all his fights. Let me know what kind of talent he is, or something that people could be, witnessing, against Rolly. Do Rolly have a chance? Is this fight ordained for Rolly to get his career on track? He's still with Mayweather Promotions. He hasn't been dropped. So clearly they have some kind of, something with him, to do. So it's not all over for Rolly Romero. I think as dangerous and unorthodox as he is, he's always going to have a puncher's chance, just like he had in these other fights. And if he beats this guy, then you start to think of the other names, like I stated before. Obviously, he likes that money. Like, you can say whatever you want, but he made some paper fighting Gervonta. And you see him floating all around social media, making his runs. I know for a fact he will fight a Devin Haney. He will fight, a Shakur. I'm pretty sure that he will fight these people, with no problem. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can get it done. And obviously you got the big bout headed between the two promoters, Golden Boy, DAZN, obviously with PBC, Showtime. I mean, you see that's happening. I think that's going to open the door for, the Mayweather Promotions to go up against Top Rank and some of these other guys and, get the fights that we truly want to see. Undefeated fighters going up against undefeated fighters. It seems like this is the new trend. Somebody's got to get that one on their record, and give credit to the people who went in the ring and challenged that. Didn't just want to hold on to that undefeated streak. Rolly Romero put it all on the line. He knew the risk, he knew the reward, and he took it. He could have easily said, nah, man, I'm not confident in this, and moved on, like many other fighters do. But give credit to Rolly Romero why people want to ridicule him. It's Flight Sports TV. Everybody hit that like button. If you're new, most definitely hit that subscribe button. We're going to be documenting this bout. This is a must-win for Rolly. It's Flight Sports.